Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Your average SD pool player here. And in today's video, we are going to discuss my points of view in regards to Scotch doubles. I love Scotch doubles. Anything with the team dynamic, I'm always all about because I'm very much in it to win it, and to be able to share that with someone else is always a fun feeling. Plus, team sports are always fantastic. So if you have an opportunity to join a Scotch doubles tournament or do something team-like with pool, I definitely recommend it, because pool can be very much an individualistic or solo sport, and we can really learn a lot from being able to play with and alongside others as well. So if given the opportunity, I say take it, which I did the other week, where I did a Scotch doubles tournament with my fabulous partner. Super excited with how our turnout was for that tournament. We placed fairly well, and I have a couple takes on it, so stay tuned. We'll be discussing those takes in this video. If you like content like this, please press that like button below, as it gives us that instant feedback that we love here on this channel. Speaking of feedback, leave a comment below based on what you did like about this video or what you'd like to see in future videos on this channel. And speaking of channel, don't forget to subscribe, as it does help the channel grow and foster this average pool playing community. And of course, you'll be the first to know when we upload on Mondays and Fridays. So with that being said, let's go play some pool. All right, guys. So today we are going to go through a couple points that I like to highlight in my most recent experience in participating in a doubles tournament, specifically a Scotch doubles tournament. And I'm gonna have myself practicing in the background as a little bit of a distraction, just in case I kind of lose track of where I'm at, but I do have notes. So let's begin. So the first point that I want to discuss is essentially how to determine that you have the right partner. It seems very simple in concept of, like, of course you need to find the right partner, but how do you establish or create that framework in finding that exact synergy that you're looking for with someone? And I have a couple points that I'd like to make in regards to that. First point is compatibility. So if there is a skill cap for your doubles partnership, and that skill cap can be based on a lot of different things, but I think for this specific example, we're using kind of an APA skill cap. If there is a skill cap, it's best to choose a partner where familiarity with one another, both with in-game skill and in personality, is already taken into consideration. The more familiar that you are with your partner and their conduct around the table, the quicker you can assess what would work best in any situation presented at the table. And remember, we're so used to pool being a venture that is very much individual based. The more synergy that can happen between both partners, the less you would have to mitigate when actually playing with one another at the table. So it's super important to establish that compatibility right away. And the familiarity that you gain from having that compatibility will just only help in being more successful within that partnership. And with any partnership that you may have, the next point is extremely important, which is trust. Team dynamics are rooted in being able to trust your teammates, or in this case, your partner, to do what is needed for them to do in order to succeed. figure out what are the core win conditions that your partner needs in order for them to be successful at the table. What I mean by that is some players prefer some shots over other shots, and use that guide as a focus point in how to plan your run out. Keep things simple. Discrepancy in skill levels between partners only really highlights the importance of simplifying your approach to the game when it comes to shot making and or position play. This is a very introspective aspect of playing pool. If you are still working on being able to simplify the game, there's no better way to do that than to do that within a doubles partnership, because it's one thing for us to play within ourselves and understand what it means to play within ourselves, but to play it in a broader sense of understanding in which you and your partner can be more in sync with that kind of thought process really brings to light how simple the game really is. So really use that to your advantage as often as you can. Another thing when it comes to trusting your partner is you yourself need to do your best to let your partner do all of the work when they are at the table. It's very important to understand that once you're not at the table and once your partner is at the table, that you need to be ready for whatever your partner brings you back to the table with. So no matter what the outcome of the shot is, being more open-minded, being more forgiving is extremely important, because you have to deal with just what the table gives you. So once you are not at the table, give your partner that space to be able to figure out what to do next. Be ready for whatever shot may come your way next once you do return to the table, and understand that your shot at the table needs to work with your partner's ability to play off of that shot. So being able to understand this is only going to help create and build that momentum that you would need as a team. And the idea of forgiveness is super important in this situation, because it's not even like, oh, I forgive you for playing that shot that you played, or you left me with whatever. It's letting your opponent know, or sorry, letting your partner know that as long as they did their best and they did what they could with the table that was given to them, and they made the best decision that they could at that time, that's all the encouragement they need in order to be able to keep that mindset of establishing win conditions between you guys as a partnership towards the end of the rack, you know. So the important thing about getting through racks in general as a partnership is being able to understand that you cannot get to the final ball without your partner. So don't leave them stranded. Don't leave them feeling as if like they're not a part of that partnership. Make sure that every decision, no matter if it's made by yourself or by your partner or by, you know, a collective understanding, is owned by both partners in this situation. So that'll really help ease the pressure. That'll really help ease the tension, if there is any, within partnerships, and be able to move on to the next shot and continue to establish those win conditions and those racks that you need in order to be successful. And the last point I wanted to make in this, or the last core value that I wanted to introduce, is the idea of adaptation. Learning the strengths and opportunities of your partner can establish the framework needed in order to adapt and make better decisions at the table. Be vigilant and let your partner know that the most important thing about pool is making balls. Seems like a simple enough concept, right? Like, duh, we're here to make balls. But it's important to kind of establish that mindset between yourselves as partners, because it helps just alleviate that pressure. Like, oh, I just need to make this ball and just trust my partner. No matter what the skill level gap is, discrepancy, or if there is none, like, Your responsibility at the table at that time is to make that ball and let your partner figure out what to do with the next ball. So make balls, very important in regards to adaptation. But it's important because staying at the table is key in building momentum and essentially a rhythm between the partnership. The longer you're at the table, the more you're able to establish that rhythm in that moment. As in most pool games, establishing control of the table, whether it be with an offensive or defensive shot, is key in building that momentum or creating that momentum shift if needed. So what I mean by establishing control of the table is always having some kind of semblance in which if you have to play a shot or a safety that, you know, you're always setting your partner up for success when they come in. So super important to establish that momentum, keep that momentum, and be able to play with that momentum as well too when asked to do so. And discuss options and always let the core win condition of each rack to be able to gain control of the table, to be able to see that win condition through for that rack is super important to do whenever you have the opportunity to do so. So discussing those options when you're both seated, being able to be more open-minded with kind of what the table gives you and being able to discuss all the various options is super important. It's a team dynamic, so take advantage of it. Some additional tips to keep in mind, and this goes off the last point that we just talked about, use any downtime off the table to discuss anything that may need to be discussed. Be open-minded and understand that team dynamics is a key factor in Scotch doubles. The more awareness that you allow yourself to have, the better the results between yourself and your teammate will be. Make sure that you make decisions that work best with your skill level if there is a discrepancy in skill levels between partners. For example, in 9-ball, I would always let the more experienced player always play the first shot after a break, as they can essentially be trusted to lay the path down for the correct pattern play for the remainder of the rack. And that's just a good general practice, is to be able to set the precedent at the beginning of a rack versus in the middle, understanding if there's key balls, key shots, or whatever the case may be. And that's also important whenever you get a chance to kind of be able to pick who gets to approach the rack first. It's these discussions that you have outside of the table which can really affect the outcome of a game. So have those conversations 100%. And encouragement is vital and can be a determining factor in how successful a team is. Those words of encouragement during a match really help in establishing momentum and keeping your head mentally in the game as you are focused on playing shot for shot with your partner. Who doesn't like a little bit of an ego boost? But essentially those words of encouragement help throughout the rack. It alleviates pressure. It alleviates any tension between either your partner or with your opponent, and it allows you to focus on just telling yourself when you're at the table, I got this, my partner got this, let's get it together and let's definitely make the best of what we have in this rack. So these are just some things that I picked up as I participated in that Scotch doubles tournament. I love the experience. I thought it was fantastic. Awareness to be able to have of myself, of my game, and being able to, help others or assist others or my partner in winning as well too. It keeps you more grounded. It keeps you a lot more focused on what the task at hand needs to be. So once again, if you're able to participate in any kind of event or any kind of structure where it allows for kind of a team dynamic, I say go for it. It can only help improve your game, and it will really bring to light a lot of things that you kind of may have been not focused on before when it comes to your individual game. So I'm glad you guys were able to tune in on this one. Really fun topic. If you have any kind of other recommendations, suggestions, or feedback based on what we just discussed today, leave those as comments below, and we will see you on the next video. See ya. Thanks. If you guys like that video, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like you just watched. And we'll see you in the next one.